Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I'm going to talk about something that's real important that you need to start doing as soon as possible about start cutting the grass. I hope you got some contracts. If you don't got a lot of work, don't worry, don't panic. That means you're going to do a better job if you got less work. So people are going to see you and what a good job you're doing, and they're going to hire you for sure because you got enough time to spend a couple extra minutes at the house. So when I say start cutting as soon as possible, say you got a couple cleanup jobs or leaf jobs. Once it's time to start cutting the grass, as soon as it's even question about cutting the grass, go cut the grass because you don't want to get behind on cutting the grass. The first 4 or 5 weeks of cutting grass, when you get there, it's going to look like you weren't even there at all. Trust me. So if you got any type of a cleanup job or anything to do, either push them to early morning because it's going to be dewy and possibly a little damp and wet, and then stop maybe at 10 o'clock and go cut some grass, and then you're going to have to figure your schedule out. Or take those cleanup jobs and do them on the weekends. I know I don't like working on the weekends, but in the beginning you might have to just to grow your business. If the customer hired you to do a cleanup and they're actually a grass cutting customer also, you might have to tell them that you're going to do it as you cut the grass. You can do the best you can because, you don't want to tell them you're swamped, but just tell them that, you got a lot of work. You're going to do the best you can. And you got to get going because all the lawns, everybody thinks they're your only customer. So you got to tell them that, all the lawns are growing like wildfire. So you got to stay on top of them. So I would take those cleanups, put them off to the side or do them in the morning or at the end of the evening, whenever you can get to them. If you got mulch jobs, trimming the bushes, that's great. Push them back. I know the customers might want them done sooner. Just make contact with them and say that I got to push you back on till Saturday because I'm swamped on my grass cutting accounts. They're growing too fast. But make sure you touch base and let them know that's what you're doing. Because if you tell them you're coming Tuesday at 10 o'clock to get started and you don't come Tuesday and you don't come Wednesday, well, they might think you are not going to do it and get somebody else to do it, or they might fire you and do it themselves. But make sure you touch base and tell them what's going on. So a couple of situations that I ran into over the past years from doing this, I would say usually in my area, we start cutting grass on the 3rd week of April, weather permitting. If you're waiting longer than April, the 3rd week, you're really pulling your hair out. So say if it's close to the 3rd week of April and it looks like it's questionable and it could be cut, start cutting. Start cutting immediately. When you get to the customer's house, the first thing to do, jump out of your vehicle, whatever you're driving, a truck, a minivan, a car, using your bicycle to pull your lawnmower there, and walk the property. It's only going to take you 2 minutes, but walk it. And when you're walking the property, that 2 minutes will give you time to check your phone, maybe check messages. But definitely walk the property because you don't want to get stuck, especially on new houses that you got, because you look like a jackass. So make sure that you walk the properties, come back to the truck, and make a game plan in your head of what you're going to do. Even if you could just cut the front yard, trust me, cut just the front yard and bill them for the whole cut. And even if you get in the backyard, and you can make 2 or 3 passes in the backyard. I'll go more in depth in video on how to, cut the backyards if there's water situation. Cut as much as you possibly can because it's going to help you out the following week. Because what happened to me a couple times was it was questionable, and I didn't go after them and cut them. I said, I'll get them tomorrow, or I'll start on Monday. And I should have went that week, even though it was a Thursday or a Friday, and started on them. And the next thing you know, Monday, Tuesday, it rained. And I mean, when it rained good. So you couldn't work at all that day. And then you got started on it. Then it rained again on Thursday because you know what they say, April flowers bring May showers. So you got to stay on top of it. So that's the best advice I can give to you is if it needs cutting, cut it as soon as possible. Don't say you'll get started next week because next week might be the rainy week. And then you're going to be twice as far behind trying to play catch up. And now you're really going to have to do rake because the rake's your best friend. And you're going to have to take some grass with you to get rid of it because a lot of people don't, towns and villages don't accept grass anymore. You have to check what their ordinances, their garbage disposals. And if you don't know, just ask the customer and see what they say. Because you don't want to leave grass sitting around after a week. It gets really stinky and smelly and disgusting. It starts oozing, and it just makes not for a pretty sight. So, like I said, stay on top of your lawns. If you've got any extra work, cleanups, or whatever it might be, you're going to have to either push them back or do it something else because you don't want to fall behind on cutting grass. You could do a mulch job and trim some bushes at any time. So just stay in touch with your customers. Let them know what your plan of attack is. So that's the best advice I can give you. Start cutting grass as soon as possible. You won't be sorry because the first 4 or 5 weeks, it's going to be starting over every single week when you get there. So I hope you found this educational. You got a little knowledge from it. Maybe you think I'm nuts. If you do, great. But I hope you got something out of the video. If you got any comments, questions, or suggestions, let me know in the comments. I like answering questions. I like seeing what you guys are thinking. So thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe, hit the like button if you can be so kind, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.